you know? And as I heard some of the details,
This Is Us has already completed 5 entire seasons, if you can believe that, and fans are itching to figure out how the beloved show fits in with the network's plans. With the strong possibility of a release date announcement to come this month, we take a look at what's next for the television series. Lots of tears. When asked in an interview recently, Milo Ventimiglia talked openly about some of the difficulties of the whole, ending and all. He spoke about how knowing that the end is coming can be scary and is weighing on all of them, and that's completely understandable. For more than 6 years, Milo and his crewmates have effectively walked the tightrope of network television, something that plenty of showrunners and actors will tell you is an impressive job all in of itself. So while the end is coming, judging from Milo and the rest of the cast's social media, it seems they are all really taking the time to enjoy the opportunity to return to the set for another run. A bittersweet send-off. Chrissy Metz recently described the ending to the beloved show as bittersweet, and referenced that it will likely give you that same feeling that many of the episodes leave you with. She elaborated, "The show has famously taken some huge risks throughout its run, with some very serious moments and topics getting screen time over the years. As fans anxiously prepare to see what happens with their favorite characters, it seems like the cast anticipates some more big moments to wrap up the Emmy Award-winning show. As much as the word bittersweet can be somewhat scary to hear for invested viewers, it would feel even weirder if a show that prided itself on looking on the bright side of the face of difficulties suddenly took the easy way out, wouldn't it?" Metz thankfully had more to share, however, and also promised something else too. Closure. Is there really anything more satisfying in a TV show than finally getting closure, even if the ending is bad or doesn't make much sense, like so many series finales have unfortunately been criticized for in the past? At least you can say that you know how it all ended. Chrissy Metz promised us closure for our time invested in Season 6, and that had me absolutely ecstatic. We all know the writers will come up with some good storylines for Season 6, and so for the actors to feel happy with how things wrapped up is a good sign for what's to come for fans. Why is the show ending at all? With Chrissy saying that she will collapse on the floor seeing the season finale air later on in 2022, and Milo documenting his moments on set to be able to cherish forever, you could be forgiven for wondering why the show must end at all if the actors are still clearly this invested and the level of quality is as high as it is. The truth is, the network just feels that the show is about ready to conclude. In the past decade, NBC has been pretty good about giving shows the chance to wrap up, especially the good ones, and so it's nice that they are allowing This Is Us to find a more natural conclusion, even if the show very well could have kept going for another few seasons if they wanted to. What does the creator of the show think about all of this? Creator Dan Fogelman has always seemed to have a very close relationship with the cast and crew of This Is Us, and so it was unsurprising to see him more than a bit hurt to see his show finally get its number called. Dan took it in stride though, when doing the rounds of interviews recently. He talked about how hard it is to have to say goodbye to your favorite thing, even if it did make sense about why it was ending. He was also quick to thank NBC for allowing them the chance to wrap things up the right way. Did he tease anything interesting? Creator Dan Fogelman is still deeply tied to his show, even 6 seasons later, and while he doesn't exactly talk a ton about what to expect from the show, and focused more on the feelings they were all experiencing together, he did hint more about what to expect for the show's conclusion. Bring tissues, because even Dan was crying when he was writing the episode, and said that when they were shooting it, many around him were crying as well. Honestly, all I can say is wow. It's one thing to cry when you're watching it on TV and the music is playing, but to be crying just by experiencing it live, this one might be a doozy. Where did we leave off in Season 5? While we eagerly await the arrival of Season 6, it's worth noting that last season had its fair share of big moments too, especially the finale, which saw multiple breakups for series mainstays. NBC's family drama concluded their season with Madison walking away from Kevin on their wedding day, a juicy piece of drama on its own. But also Kate and Toby. We got this reveal in the form of a flash forward that revealed revealed that Kate was not renewing her vows to Toby, but instead marrying music teacher Philip instead. The new development will surely have a big impact on Season 6 and send ripples through the community. We'll have to see how the characters both got to this point, and what the fallout of the wedding will be when Season 6 airs in early 2022. What will happen in Season 6? After the show was heavily affected by COVID while shooting Season 5, the team has decided to shoot the 6th and final installment mid-season to avoid some of the challenges that not only the crew faced, but also fans themselves. Since it's the final look at these characters, the showrunners decided that it would be best to try and give the fans the best farewell that they could muster, and didn't want the show to have to sputter around like it did because of the pandemic. Expect a much smoother experience, but what do we know about the show itself? What will be some things to watch out for in this season? Everything we know about Season 6. Well, first of all, you're going to be getting 18 episodes in Season 6, a pretty decent chunk of screen time to work with. The season story is kind of laid out, at least partially, as the writers will need to catch us up with the flash forward, either by explaining what happened or even spending a few episodes getting us there. It will be an interesting season because if we do go the route of experiencing the moments leading up to Kate and Toby's divorce, then we will have some easy things to look forward to in terms of diagnosing their shortcomings, mainly Toby's job in San Francisco and their parenting dynamics. Creator Dan Fogelman has said that there is one storyline in the show that's going to really make people feel something. Could this be in reference to Rebecca's declining health, or is it going to be something else entirely? It's hard to say, but I can't wait to find out. Beth's actor spills the beans. Susan Kelechi Watson plays Beth Pearson on the show, and may have unintentionally leaked a few of the storylines for the final season. She spoke about 3 things that she believes are pillars of the season, one of which directly involves her. She didn't really reference any specifics about Beth and some of her issues, but instead about her dance career, and that her character will continue pushing for body positivity and ethnicity acceptance. As she fights an uphill battle in that regard, she also is trying to change the overall environment around dance to be a more accepting and uplifting one. It seems like her character will be busy this season, but that isn't all Susan had to say about the show. Kate's relationships with Rebecca. Like we spoke on earlier, it seems pretty obvious that Kate and Toby's relationship is ending, as well as Kate's new relationship seemingly accelerating into marriage very quickly, will play a major role in the story, as everyone expected. But Susan had a little more to say about the show, in particular about Rebecca. Previously in the last season, we would see flash forwards of her in bed, looking increasingly worse as things go along. Susan implies that this is going to continue to play out throughout Season 6 and will be something to prepare for as a viewer. Judging from how Susan has spoken about the season, it feels like much of it will be focused on leading up to these huge events, rather than simply skipping forward like shows have done in the past. It's going to be very interesting to see how the show's writers handle the twist of having to tell a story that viewers already know the ending of, at least partially, and I would definitely expect some twists and turns along the way to find a way to shock viewers. Man, I can't wait for this season to finally come out. And with that, it wraps up the video. Thanks for watching.